You know when this hat goes on, yeah. Something's going good in the pot. I'm prepping my word for tomorrow night. We're gonna have a smothered shrimp and crab okra gumbo, along with my Gumbeaux facial. So make sure you're looking at my page tomorrow and see how I'll get all this done up. It's gonna be good eating. So I'm gonna do some pre-work for my smothered okra, which is gonna be shrimp and crab gumbo. And so I got my Magnolite pot out. I've grew my own okra and I cut them into little pieces like this. Now, in Southwest Louisiana, we don't normally put whole pieces of okra into our gumbo. We usually smother our okra down because there's two different kinds of okra. There's two different kinds of gumbos. There's a okra gumbo and a roux gumbo, and two totally different ones. And so I'm doing a smothered okra. So I got 2 Ziploc bags of okra with some oil in my pot. I forgot to tell you I put oil in the pot. But we're gonna cook this down. I'm throwing it on top of my stove, but I'm gonna transfer it to my oven. So let me get my pot started, and we're gonna slowly cook this down where all that slime is gonna come out. But I'm starting with my okra and my oil. All right, so I got all my okra inside my pot. I did pour some oil in, or oil, whatever you wanna call it, at the bottom of the pot. I'm also gonna pour some on top, just a little bit, not much, maybe about a tablespoon, and get this stirred up. Just like this. In the meantime, while this is slowly cooking, I just got on a medium to high heat to get this heated up. I'm gonna go ahead and chop up 2 onions and open up a can of rotel. I'm gonna use a hot rotel in this. This is my mom's recipe for smothered okra. She does not or did not season her okra. She just put the onions and a can of rotel inside there with a little bit of vinegar to help cut out some of that slime. And that's what I'm gonna do today. So let's get all that done. Let me get some onions chopping. All right, slowly my okra is starting to defrost out of the freezer because these were frozen okra that I cut up. I'm gonna go ahead and cut up 2 onions. I did. Well, I've already cut them up. You saw me. One was a white and one was a yellow. You can use all yellow, all white. Doesn't really matter. I just like the flavor of both of those, so I just did one of each. This is a lot of onions. If you don't want a lot of onions, don't put any onions. But this is going to be so good. Get this all turned and mixed in, and I'm gonna put 1 can of hot rotel. Yes, there's tomatoes in rotel, and people say you don't put tomatoes in gumbo. 100% agree. You do not put tomatoes in a roux-based gumbo, and you will never see me do that ever. Or okra in a roux-based gumbo. But in my okra gumbo, I do put in rotel. I don't put stewed tomatoes. I don't put tomato sauce. Just 1 or 2 cans of rotel. So this is slowly melting down, and you can start seeing the slime that's gonna be coming out of this, which is kind of gross. My dad and mom would cook this in an electric roaster. They would do a bushel at a time. I don't have a bushel, so I'm just gonna cook mine in the oven. So I'm going to get this turned, put a lid on it, put it in my oven for 350 degrees, and I'm gonna stir it probably every 20 minutes until all the slime is cooked out, and I'll show you what that looks like as I go along, okay? Oh, I forgot to tell you, to put a little bit of vinegar. My mom puts a vinegar in it, and she says she uses about 1/4 of a cup for a bushel of okra. I'm just gonna put like a little swigs of in there, a little swig, just to help out with that sliminess. In the oven we go, 350 degrees. All right, I'm back now. I have my okra smothering in the oven. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and start my stock. You can just use basic water for your okra gumbo if you want, but since I'm doing a seafood, I wanna go ahead and do a seafood stock for mine. I'm gonna do a shrimp stock, and I got these beautiful shrimps from a place called Gulfport Seafood in Hermitage, and they get all their stuff shipped in. So I got that to peel, and I'm gonna put the shrimp inside my gumbo. I'm gonna put the shells and stuff and make my stock. So I'm gonna go ahead and start prepping with that. I'm gonna devein and peel these shrimp to go into my water. Be right back. Now you just saw me take the heads off of the shrimp and also peel them. I'm gonna show you how to devein them. Take a knife, you're gonna go straight down the middle of that shrimp, and there's usually a, well, this one don't have any poo-poo. Huh, usually they have like a little string of poo-poo, no poo-poo. And then you would just pull it out just like that. Like that, and then just discard that. You don't want that in your shrimp, okay? Here's a good one. You want to pull that out. Get it all out. Now, some people don't. You don't have to, and some people don't, but I do. I don't want that in my gumbo. Feel like, well, you don't do that for the crawfish. Yep, I sure don't. All right, they all deveined and ready for the gumbo. I'm gonna go ahead and rinse these off with some cold water and show you what my next step is. All right, they're all washed off. I got it in a container and with some water in there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna season my water. I'm gonna let this sit overnight. I'm not cooking this gumbo till tomorrow. I'm just getting the prep work ready for tomorrow. Season whatever you want. I'm using a seafood boil seasoning in this. And I'm gonna let this soak and sit overnight. So that's all you do. Put that in the refrigerator. Let's go ahead and make our shrimp stock. All right, I got my stock pot out. I do have a colander inside there. I have just about half amount of water in here. I'm probably gonna add some more once I get all my stuff in there. Now, remember all those peelings we did? We're gonna put this inside this stock pot, inside the colander, to go ahead and get our seafood started for the stock. Now, you can, like I said, your gumbo, you can just use regular water if you want, or if you want to use chicken stock or beef stock. Not beef stock. This is a seafood gumbo, so we're gonna make our own stock. Just make your own stock. It's just a lot easier. Okay. All right. So we're gonna put some garlic. Now you can use any kind of extra vegetables or any kind of you want inside here to boost up your stock. I'm using some cloves of garlic. I have some chopped green onions. I'm gonna cut the ends off. They are washed. I'm gonna go ahead and put those in there. I have some bell peppers that was in my refrigerator. I'm gonna just use that because I have it. I'm gonna use some carrots because I had some of that in there. And I'm gonna chop up an onion because I have it. You don't have to go out and buy anything extra. Just use what you currently have. You know, some people like, it's not Cajun unless it has the Holy Trinity. That's not true. I mean, we don't use Holy Trinity on every single Cajun dish, okay? This one is not gonna use the Holy Trinity on this dish. You know, my parents used what they had and they cooked. And I'm gonna tell you, my parents were some damn good cooks. And they didn't go out and buy all kinds of stuff. They just used what they had. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring all this up. As you can see, all my stuff is inside my stock pot, inside my colander with my water. I'm gonna add seasoning to my water. I'm gonna use a crawfish ball seasoning. I'm not gonna use a lot, but I will use enough just to season the top or just to coat the top of it. You can use salt, you can use pepper, you can use Mrs. Dash, whatever kind of seasonings you like, you use that, okay? We're gonna bring this up to a boil and then we're gonna let this simmer for a few hours. What we wanna do is we wanna get this nice and infuse all those flavors together for that stock and get it really nice and tangy with that. Not tangy, you just want that shrimp, that good shrimp stock for your base, for your gumbo, okay? Hi, how are you? All right, I got my stock pot full, like my belly's gonna be tomorrow on this gumbo. All right, so I got my fire on hot. I do have all of my shrimp shells in here, some vegetables in here, making a stock for my gumbo for tomorrow. So we're gonna cook this down, not cook this down, but we're gonna cook this for a long time. I do want a good rich flavor in that stock, and all those vegetables and that shrimp shells is gonna bring those flavors out in that gumbo for tomorrow. Okay, so let's get this cooking. I'm gonna bring it to a rolling boil and then get my facial, of course, and then we'll cut it down and then just simmer it for a few hours. Hey, and don't forget to go check on your smothered okra. Make sure you turn that every 20 minutes, 350 degrees. That's in your oven. You don't want it to burn. Go stir. Pulled mine out. I wanted you to look at it and see. what it looks like. Ooh, it smells so freaking good. It smells like home. All right, as you can see, it's starting to wilter down, but there's still a lot of slimy to it. See all that? That's what we're trying to cook out. So keep stirring that. It's going to cook out, I promise you. It just takes a while. But just, you know, the positive thing about it is you're getting a nice, good facial. Getting all those pores opened up and smelling all that okra. Whew, God, it smells good. But I promise you, it will get all that sliminess out. Keep cooking it down, folks. Just keep cooking it down. And I also turned my stock. Oh, it smells good. Turned it down as well. So it's going to simmer just like for about another couple of hours while I'm cooking up my okra and getting that all nice and smothered down. I'll come back when it's all done. All right, this sucker's been cooking for about 4 hours. That's right, 4 hours. But I was stirring every about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. But this is what it looks like. Let me get you a little closer picture of this. You can still hear it sizzling. But see, it looks like that's all broken down and there is no slime in this. Just like that. Look at that, isn't that pretty? That's what smothered okra looks like, and that's what we're gonna use in our gumbo tomorrow. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this cool down. A lot of times what we do is we put this in quart size bags and we put them in the freezer. So we'll have it all winter. But I'm gonna cool this down and we're gonna use this tomorrow. Also have my shrimp stock done. Look at that. If you had smell-o-vision, smell of TikTok, or smell of Facebook, or one of those things, you would be in heaven because it smells so good. But anyway, all right. This is all for today. It's my prep work for tomorrow. It's going to be cold and it's going to be some gumbo weather. But to me, gumbo weather is year-round. That's a seasonal dish for every season. But a lot of people don't like gumbo in the hot season. But anyway, I'm going to get this cooled down and then we're going to put it in the refrigerator. And tomorrow, we're going to make up some good gumbo and we're going to manger. Till tomorrow. See ya.